Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Stand by.
If this has been an actual emergency.
It is loading. It's loading. It's loading.
Okay, we are live on YouTube.
Are we?
Amazing.
Yep.
Right, YouTube.
What's up, YouTube?
So YouTube worked, Facebook didn't. Awesome. Hi, YouTube. Thank you, Natasha.
Hold it.
Thank
So
you.
Whatever you do on your phone.
I'll go to YouTube, share the link onto your Facebook.
Yeah. Yes.
Tag me, please.
Yes. Tag us. And then we can share that.
so we're live on YouTube.
Yes, we are. We're
Me?
live right now.
Or is that from Monday?
However, that's the wrong. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I love you.
Is it still live right now? Can anybody see it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's live. It's live.
On what? I don't get that.
YouTube.
It's live on YouTube. I will put it on Mr. Byron Nelson and tag you guys.
It worked on YouTube. It didn't work on. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So can we now go through Facebook through YouTube now?
Oh, from YouTube to Facebook.
Okay, we ready for the test run?
Test run ready.
Everybody's on.
5 o'clock somewhere.
There you go.
Contact info for Chef Jagger's Easter boxes. You're gonna get all of that in a second, Trinity. We're gonna share everything in about 2 seconds. Thank you so much, love. Okay, thank you so much, Nasia. Thank you, babe. Thank you. Love you guys. I so appreciate you guys and your love and vibrations. I even have my Michael Jackson smile on right now. My teeth are about to show. All right. You guys say when. I will keep a letter circulating on Facebook, turn off the music, and we can get this party started. All right. Ready, family?
Always.
Listos? Excellent.
You.
I guess we should be recording. Recording? I'm recording.
89 participants strong.
Yes.
What's up, everybody?
Now we're recording. All right, family. Well, thank you. And thank you for your patience. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your vibration. And I have no idea how this is going to reach the rest of the universe, but I know it is. And it just comes with understanding anything comes with feedback. Is that me? Can't be me.
Yeah, let's everybody
Let's
mute.
everybody mute, and then whoever is speaking, you can unmute.
It actually goes and is aligned with the universe. It's fractured. There's a crazy vibration going on in the universe, and we wanted to, more than anything else, be able to help heal it and help heal people in the process. This whole thing came about with just the inception of a thought and an idea of knowing that there were some extraordinary men out there that I know that work in their own lane to be able to do something amazing. My whole philosophy has always been to be able to just truly, whenever there's something out of alignment, be able to come and be able to just kill it with love, more so than anything else. That's the bottom line, is that, you know, I do that with my enemies. I do that with the people who love on me, people that want to make something happen. That's always the best solution. And so I found 3 extraordinary, amazing individuals that I really want to bring to the table that I think will snowball into being able to infect and affect the entire universe through each one of us contributing. So this is not just about us, it's about just a collective. And so I wanted to actually just let you hear directly from each person and really hear the heartbeat of each person, while on each of these series of going through 8 weeks of being able to truly create a vibration of contribution. Not just a platform to sound good, not a platform to, you know, you got people out there doing DJing, you got other people out there praying, other people that are chanting. I want it to be an active force, and I wanted us to collectively bring the force together, because each one of us are playing an active role in coming out of this. It's kind of like, I call this the waiting room, so that it's very clear. What I've been sharing about this whole situation, it's the ER. It's the emergency room. And what I mean by that is when you're in the emergency room, nobody really cares if you're Black, if you're white, if you're Puerto Rican, if you're Asian. It doesn't matter what persuasion you are. Nobody cares if you're old or if you're young. You know, they don't care if you have $1 million, $1 billion. They don't care if you come from Skid Row. When you're in that emergency room, and I've been there several times, and I feel this, it's like I'm filled with emotion here, but you just want people to come out unscathed. I was sharing earlier that if you know anything about just the astrological signs or signs and times when people are born, those born within my realm, we didn't take this seriously. Not that, you know, we just don't take anything seriously. We just live a very light-hearted life and want to make everybody happy and smile during the times. And I don't want to focus on the COVID, but that is the underlying foundation which is giving birth to this conversation. And I found out from somebody who's very dear to me on the front line that runs 3 major hospitals in New York, there are people that are being buried that aren't being washed, they aren't being cleaned, they're in caskets. They have 7 trucks at one of her hospitals of freezer trucks, long, they're just sitting there. They're just, the father goes in, the mother goes in, and then the children, nobody comes out. They aren't even taking the tubes out of the body. They're just burying them. There's 7,739 died yesterday, 740 the day before. And she was just like, you can listen to all the myths and theories that you want. This is a virus, it's viral. And you just need to protect yourself. And so what this conversation about is not to bring light to that. There's enough narrative around that. It's to bring about truly living in a space where we build our immune system. And when I say build your immune system, I'm talking about mentally build your immune system, socially build your immune system, emotionally build your immune system, financially build your immune system. And the biggest way to do that, what I found is the biggest solution whenever I have a problem, even when I don't have money, is to find who can I give to. And each of these individuals, I mean, I'll have one sandwich and I'll give it away. And I feel 10 times better just knowing when you're in a situation, listen to what I'm saying. When you're in a circumstance or a situation that it seems hopeless, like you can't do anything, find a way to serve and bless somebody else. And you'll figure out that whatever was taking up that capacity, it goes away. And the more I give, the more that healing comes back. And that's what this conversation is about. So I want each of the individuals that I brought to the table to really participate in this. And we want to showcase each week how we can actively participate in being able to serve and contribute to each person's life. And we want each one of you to take an active participation in. If you have any ideas, whether you know Marcos, or whether you know Wayne, or whether you know Jagger, or whether you know me, we're completely open to knowing how we can do something that is positive, that's a force that's already in play. We aren't up for new hypotheses. We don't need no new ideas. But if you have something that aligns with what you're going to hear over these next 8 weeks, we definitely want your contribution. And so I'll start with my partner, Marcos Mendoza. And he's just, I can't even tell you about his spirit, his heart, the transparency of where his brain and heart connect in order to truly, when I called him to be a part of this, he was actually wanting to take a step back, not because he didn't want to be a part of what we were doing, but because his health, his physical health was being affected by what was happening vibrationally in the universe. And he had been hurting for 2 days. And I'm so glad that, he definitely, stepped up and stepped in with us, because I just want him to be able to share. You're going to hear from each one of us. We're going to bounce it off of each other, and we're going to share with the whole platform. So I want to turn over to Marcos Mendoza. I love you. I appreciate you as a brother, as a friend. Thank you for stepping in, brother. Please share.
Okay. I want to start off by expressing gratitude for Byron's vision, always showing up with unbelievable precision, completely obliterating indecision, and practicing what it's like to make decisions so that all of us can align with what matters most, with the Most High, knowing that as we thrive, we don't just simply get by, we tell the truth, we don't lie, We are not spies. We are in the spotlight as we fight for what it is that has to ignite that which we operate through, never in spite, as we follow exactly what it is that is coming through. While we know what is true, we operate from what we know is alive and not blue. Each of us are going through an awakening, taking a stance for what it is that each one of us get a glance to operate in as we dance in the conversation, as we get this message across to every nation. Check it, as I don't have to speak through abbreviation. I understand that each one of you understand what it is that I'm speaking. I'm speaking to the point where these words are leaking, activating exactly what it is that's ignited in you. Some of us are peaking. We are now seeing with our third eye. We are seeking exactly what it is that we understand that we are reaching. We are reaching what it is that we want to take a stand for through the power of grace. We choose to embrace the taste of what we know can be great as we operate through faith and activate the faith and understand that this is what it means to be great. Immunity. There's a powerful word inside the word community, and that word is unity. As you now elevate and understand that in this moment that we embrace, we can choose to choose exactly what is great, knowing that we are operating from a vibrational frequency that is known as faith. And in that faith, we activate the faith. And in that faith, we understand that each one of us are activated in light of what makes us great. And in this moment, as we now choose to own it, we activate what is known within us so that we could use our language to now create the persuasion to influence a nation and understand that what we're doing together is elevating this vibration. I stand here in this moment ready for meditation and elevation of what it is that I believe can come through me without hesitation, because I believe that I'm experiencing the rage, feeling like I'm locked up in this home, feeling like my home is my own cage, but feeling like in this moment with these 99 participants, I got the stage where I can unleash exactly what it is that I'm ready to make. As I make exactly what is at stake, knowing that I can choose to embrace and request from this community to elevate the stakes so that we can play with high stakes and know that we are not making mistakes. And if they are mistakes, then we know that those mistakes are great. That means that everything we do is great. So I'm in this moment right now, just living with this moment of gratitude. That is the vibrational frequency of this attitude. And the fact that I got invited, it means that somebody acknowledged what's inside me that has already been ignited. My invitation for you is to look at what has been ignited in you. And if you've been called here to be here with us, then that means that you have obliterated the fear. That means that you are walking around with a microphone in one hand and on the other hand, a spear. And in that spear, you know that you are standing at the front, not the rear, because none of us are actually following each other. We are all standing next to each other. Brother, mother, sister, and another. Others can hear the call as we stand tall and not fall, and what it is that we're embracing ourselves, as we all heard the call and that call was made, and now we can live in this moment so that we can choose to change and evolve from change, so that we know that we're not deranged, but rather it's okay to be weird, it's okay to be strange, and that's what it's going to take for us to be thinkers outside of the box. We know that we can't be locked, but we know that all we can do right now is talk. So we're going to talk the talk the way that we walk the walk, and as we walk the walk, we're going to let it be known that right now we are sitting on our own thrones, because each one of us are kings and queens. You know what I mean? I understand exactly what it is that's at stake. I'm sitting in this moment. Gratitude for what we get to make, as we get to remake what the evolution of this life can look like. As I grab this mic, I now pass it on and allow you guys know that I'm sitting in a very emotional state, an emotional state that is elevated through what it is that I believe we can get through the vision of what it is that I know is possible, because the word impossible should be pronounced I'm possible. So I just want to say thank you for inviting me to participate as I freestyle through some of the thoughts that I've been having. You know, myself being an expressionist and a wordsmith, to be asked to participate in this conversation was really empowering for me, primarily because I got impacted by what's going on in the world very deeply. I'm quiet about it, but I'm definitely feeling my way through it. I got these blinders on, and I feel guilty for having somewhat of a sense of ignorance for what's going on in the world. And it's just because my body can't handle it as an empath, as someone that takes on the feelings of the world. It's so difficult for me to observe and absorb what's actually happening. So when I'm witnessing people like Byron and Rowena and Jagger and Wayne and so many of the people that are on this call that are all, choosing to create and carve their own lane. I'm sorry, but I speak in rhyme. I'm feeling through pain. It's like I know all the strain. It's like I know I'm speaking in vain for the fact that we can do it, but let's make it rain with possibility. With this vocal agility, spitting words like fertility. It's something unbelievable. This is my gift. So as I'm an expressionist and a wordsmith, I'm choosing to use my words, my spoken word ability to continue to empower people that don't have that ability, people that are stuck in self-doubt and scarcity. As one of my life's purpose is to scratch the surface and let you know that my purpose is to obliterate scarcity. And I do that through spoken word. And that's just something that I'm really passionate about. On the other side of things, I help people continue to feed their families as well by helping them make money as entrepreneurs online. And that's my plan B. But my plan A is to use these words so that I can sway and mold life like clay as I now stand in this position and know that I can slay every bit of scarcity that comes my way. So I just want to express gratitude for allowing me to stay and inviting me onto this call so that I can play. Thank you.
No words, Marcos. I think everybody has a mic drop. I love you. Extending and expanding the platform so you can get a touch and a feel, because we're just getting started. This is just to give you a footnote on who each person is in this game. And I get to bring my brother from another mother, and this brother, when I first met him, to understand where he came from the bowels of the earth, literally, I call him from jail to yell. If you know his story, which I'll let him touch on over the next coming weeks, you'll know exactly how he came from a space and a time in which crime and everything else infected his life. And then the spirit of being able to change the world and becoming a force to be reckoned with, to clean up the universe, the environment, become a beacon of light for hundreds of thousands of people, where he has galvanized thousands of people to be able to heal this universe, clean the universe, water, land, sea, and heal hearts. Again, it's a very eclectic, extraordinary collective of individuals that come from 4 different corners of the world that all come together on one common road with the same destination. And so I cannot speak enough about Mr. Wayne Mullin. If you would join me, sir.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction, my brother. Thank you. Much love and respect for putting this whole thing together. I just want to say hi, and I love you all. Thank you for joining us, everyone. When we're done here, let's share the crap out of this to the world. My name is Wayne Mullin. As you can see, I'm the founder of Echo Movement right here. It is a meditation humanitarian movement. As Byron has mentioned, I didn't always used to be the peaceful, meditating teacher, a mindfulness guy who I am today. I used to be pretty violent and lived a tremendously criminal lifestyle for the majority of my life till about 13 years ago, and where I was eventually blessed with from the divine with meditation, which was the thing that just cleared the space to put this magic in its place, to want to make a difference in the world, to want to make up for a lot of wrongs that I did in my life, and to put that moving forward into 2 to 3 main focuses, which meditation, spreading awareness of meditation, getting group synchronized mass meditations going, and cleaning the planet. If we're going to be cleaning up our minds and our insides and our feelings and emotions, we have to clean up the planet as well. We're a part of it. We're all connected to it. So we have the Echo Movement Global Cleanups and the Cleanup Challenges. And the third pillar of Echo Movement is charities and other organizations who are doing amazing things, incredible blessings to the community, like Million Dollar Smiles, like the Scott Mission, and of course, like Feed It Forward. Tremendous member of Feed It Forward. I absolutely love it. I'm out there every day picking up the food. There is no better way to uplift your spirit by uplifting the spirit of others. I'm just going to say it out loud right now. There's no other way you can do it like that. And for what I just want to put out there, echo out there to everyone on this call, watching the call later, or what have you, is that we all have the power. We all hold the keys in our hands. As I like to say, our savior is always in our behavior. And this is our opportunity. This is our time to take that as the gift it is. And that gift is called presence. We have to just remain present in how we're feeling, because even myself as a mindfulness teacher, as a meditation teacher, as a mentor, I in these times, the last couple of weeks, I've felt the anxiety. I have felt the stress, and being present and aware, of that, you can catch yourself, and that in itself is joining the collective energy for all of humanity to come together and be able to just make changes. I believe this whole situation is a blessing, and I know I want to send my heartfelt love and appreciation and respect to all of the healthcare workers, all the frontline workers. Myself and the team, we're included in that. We're out there every day. To all of the people who have lost loved ones and who will lose loved ones, my heart goes out to you. And that's why I want to be very respectful when I say that this is eventually going to turn into the biggest blessing that humanity has ever received. I firmly believe that within my heart, that it is opening our eyes. It is opening our eyes to the fact of how society is running and has been running for hundreds of years now. All the things that are wrong are coming to the surface. The whole economic structure, the whole healthcare systems all over the world, everything, it's time for a reset. It's time for an upgrade. And it is a lot easier than the small percentage of people who run it right now will allow you to believe. It is much easier. And I believe 100% that this is the time that we're in. That's why I've been calling the Four Horsemen the golden age Four Horsemen, because it truly is the golden age right now we're coming into. And the more of us who feel and believe that way, the sooner it will manifest and become that day. So this is where we all can make that difference by being present to how we're feeling, to be present to how we are envisioning the future, to be present to, cutting out the worry, taking away the fear and the panic and replacing it with faithful caution. And this is what I firmly believe 100%. I'm so excited and blessed to be here with you all. And just to pass it over to the one and only, I still remember the first day that you came to me and you explained to me the whole concept of Feed It Forward. And I was unaware. Ignorance is bliss. I was unaware, and I've seen it since the beginning. And to watch it grow and just magnify. This man is a force to be reckoned with, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you right now, force of nature. So I am going to once again bless you all for being here tonight. Whatever it is you feel in this time, in this situation right now, just be present to it and just hold on to that faith, that belief, and help us all collectively take it into the direction of a beautiful thing occurring here for all of us. And we hold that power in our hands. So pass it off to my brother, Byron. Thank you, sir.
I really don't like this platform. I'm having an amazing conversation with myself, and I think less is best. I'm going to leave the last and really the platform of what gave birth to this whole idea. We'll close out in 10 to 15 minutes or whatever time Jagger would like to be able to speak on it. But here's what I'm going to let him close out. And I'm going to actually let the dialogue happen between Wayne and Jagger, because Wayne has actually been on the front street with him. But I met him last year, and being as transparent as possible, he was so pure in my meeting him. And those of you know me, know my spirit. I had to take 2 steps back because I didn't believe that he was really that pure. I was like, no man of this stature with shoulders back and all alpha can be this much of an angel. Like, I just want to help. And I was just like, and I took 2 steps back. I'm just being transparent. I've never even told him that, or Wayne or anybody. I was just like, all right, here we go. This is going to be good. I was like, this brother here. And I took a step back. And then I got a chance to spend time with him this past couple of months ago. And I was like, he really is a man with angels that, you know, is really way beyond committed to putting his heart on his sleeve for everybody. And he started sequestering with not, you know, and I'm a firm believer, if you have time to talk about if you have time to talk about what you're doing, you aren't doing it. I believe if you're doing what you're doing, then the world will talk about it. And in the time of me getting to know him, every soul, every body, every corner of the world, and then in being able to just connect with them over and over again, I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to serve you or help you, but you are truly everything that I revere. And when I saw his initiative to want to feed 15,000 people, and he was like, whatever I got to do out of my own pocket, and I could care less about the virus, this and the other. I'm just going to be there like the nurses, which we have many on this call, and doctors and many people I know. I said, I just want to serve at the highest level and help you. So I'm pouring my heart out to each one of you that are attached to me. I need you to listen to who he is. Everybody that's on here for Wayne, everybody that's on here, because there's so many extraordinary people on here. I want to take this, whatever amount, 100 people on this page, and then everybody else that listens to this, and we want to turn this into 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, 1 million over the next 8 weeks. If this conversation resonates with you, we need you to take an active participation in what we're talking about, and so that we can create. I can't stand by. I don't know how to sit in isolation and do nothing. So I'm pleading for the people that I know, that know my heart, know how I operate as a leader, and surrounding myself with people who live in the same realm, to take an active participation in making a difference. Not a slogan, not a brand, not for money, not for recognition, not for acknowledgement, but because this world needs a lot of healing. And if it's gonna be up to us. I'm not waiting for no damn politicians, never have. So this is who Jagger is to me, and I need you guys to listen to his conversation, and we'll leave it. I'm gonna let him close out because I obviously can't handle this conversation right now. And I have another call coming up, but they'll be pushed back, they'll be fine. But we are gonna figure out how to get this whole internet and this whole Facebook and everything over the next 7 days. Instead of taking 2 to 3 hours, we'll take the next 7 days, and we're gonna still have it. We're gonna blow this up. And we need you guys to actively be a part of one heartbeat, not just voyeurs standing on the outside looking at us like this is a show. And spread the word. If you felt Marcos, if you feel Wayne, if you know me, and you're gonna hear him right now, then you know how sincere I am about this. So, Sir Jagger, Chef Jagger, unmute yourself now.
Thank you for the invitation, and thank you everyone for participating in this incredible room. As when I could speak for myself, my vulnerability is being shown, and I love it because my weaknesses are my strengths, and I utilize it to maximize what tomorrow is going to be for me. I want you to all imagine being in isolation. Now imagine someone coming to your door before you wake up and makes you breakfast. It could be as simple as a bowl of cereal. It could be a muffin onto the table. You know, the TV's on for you, it's your favorite channel. You get to come downstairs to your beautiful kitchen. There's a breakfast waiting for you, your favorite cartoons on, and your best friend's there. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, as a child, I was 8 years old. I think that's when it started. And that would be 40 some years ago. I literally would go to my friend's kitchen while he was sleeping and make myself breakfast, because at my house, we didn't have the choices of cereal. My mom was never even around much. So I was even lucky to have maybe some cold pasta with tuna fish wrapped in it from maybe a few days before. So I had the luxury of going to my neighbor's house because I lived in this little tiny apartment when he lived in a beautiful home down the same street. And he had cable TV and 5 different boxes of cereal and always milk in the fridge. And I was just so happy when it became the weekend, because that's where my weekends started. Sundays, I had the luxury of going to my grandmother, who was on my father's side, and they were separated, my mother and father. And he would take me to my grandmother's house, and she would put the spread on. This French, Canadian, Irish, Scottish woman would cook for the whole family and make the table so plenty. I had an abundance of food to take home with me, and that lasted me 3 or 4 days throughout my week. I was so blessed. But I always came to an empty home. My father was separated. I see him once a week. My mother was always gallivanting around the world, doing her mischief things as a young mother would, and beautiful she was. But what threw me off is I had to brace myself. I had to give myself structure. I had to give myself, where is my next meal coming from, technically? At least the meal that I really wanted to have. Now, I'll definitely will never have tuna fish and pasta again in my life, casserole. If you ever want to cook for me, I'll have a grilled cheese, I'll be happy. But do not make me any form of tuna fish and pasta. I'm Chef Jagger Gordon. Through my life, I swear that I would never see myself as a child to go hungry like I did. So after hanging up a few careers and serving my country and putting myself out there in front of the front lines for everybody, and living through 2 natural disasters in my life, living in Florida, Hurricane Hugo and Hurricane Andrew, being shipwrecked on one of them, losing a roof on the other one, I got to see what it takes to put a community together instantly. In fact, throughout my 32 countries that I've traveled in the world and seen hunger and death continuously, I didn't want to face that anymore. So as through one of my contracts, I came up here to Canada, and it was my resting point. I had a great girlfriend at the time. I became a single father out of that. I made a nest here in Toronto, Canada. I was born in Montreal, raised in Florida, and did my tour around the world. And I found the Canadian life was the best to be. Now, don't get me wrong. Going to my friend's house in Montreal, being raised in a military school here in Ontario, and then making my way down south to live a normal life, I thought it was. But having a life here, when I became a single father, I basically hung up my ego. I let that ego take me for quite a while because of my job position. And I really thought that playing Batman was cool. Having a security company and a private investigator, I thought it was just fun to be a homewrecker and catching the cheating wives, and to really understand the feelings that I've had as I cheated or was cheated on. So learning what I don't want to be. So when I hung up that, I went to chef school. And I wanted to go with my passion, because making that bowl, that little bowl of cereal for my friend, or always overcompensating, going to friends' house that had luxury that I didn't have as I was growing up, and preparing food for them, because it was always something I could relate to. No matter where I went and no matter what country I was in, I could always go into their kitchen. No matter what stripes I was wearing here, there, or anywhere, I was always respected for what the palate can leave. That's my business card. So when I went to chef school, I already knew how to cook, but I didn't have the formalities, the structure, and I got it. I learned what it takes to lead a brigade in a kitchen, let alone anything. Going through restaurants, going through catering companies, going through anything that's food related, I did it. I traveled the world and cooked with some of the best chefs and was trained by them. But what I had that's different is my palate. Being an international chef where I can create from the best Indian dals to a Moroccan herb spice or whatever you need, or Southern, my favorite is I'm truly a pitmaster, and Southern barbecue is where it's at for me. But moving forward, I started to see food wastage. This food wastage across every part of the industries that are dealing with food was astronomical. One day, running with my catering company for a big Oktoberfest event, I had the luck of the draw. My team and I are boogieing down a truck with a big trailer, ready to set up a camp, a food trailer camp out in the wilderness for this great event. It started to rain. I got a flat tire, so I missed the lunch service. I finally show up, the fields are all muddy. I set up camp and I'm ready to go. And I'm literally about to serve a meal that everyone dissipated and left already. And I had enough food to cook for thousands. So I decided with my team to regroup, and you know what? Let's figure out a strategic place where we can pop up Thanksgiving and give dinner. Well, that was Trinity Bellwoods, and that was 2014. And that's when everything changed. Once I started to see the people in need, the person that comes with an open hand and says, I would like that. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. How are you hungry? It's a big city. Like, how is this possible? And then the children came, and then the elderly came, and then it just came 200-300 people at one time. How do you stand there and say, oh, that's it, I'm a one-off? I just see 300 people wanting a meal. How do I say no to anybody else? So I said, I'm gonna find food. So I start making phone calls. I start telling people, don't throw away. Hey man, I'll come pick it up. I'll put it in a big pot, I'll make it, and I'll get out there and feed people. Well, it started that way. Started going to Nathan Phillips Square on specific nights, started feeding 200-300 people a night. Oh, it's great. But again, how much can I do? So I invested, I got this shipping container right downtown, Bathurst and Dundas, and I got it, and I said, man, my first little pop-up, which I called it the soup bar, because I can give soup to anyone, right? And I had to come up with a concept where I can actually make it sustainable as a non-for-profit. And how I did that was, hey, pay what you can. Shit, pay what you can. Well, it worked. And then the doors started opening up for me. I had a farmer, Greenwood Farm, say, hey, we love what you're doing. We see that you're working 7 days a week, feeding this many people. How can we give back? I said, let's plant. 4 years later, 20, 40,000 pounds every year we're harvesting from that. We're able to teach people how to plant the seed, harvest from that seed, and give to their neighbor, give to their friends and family, and also have an abundance for themselves, let alone leaving everything that's still growing on there for the next round. That's what I saw. And I saw the waste that came from farming too. So I wanted to learn how to utilize what drops on the ground before my chickens ate it, because those were my pest repellents. After 200 acres of saying that was available to me, I had to figure out a new message. I saved enough of my own money as a caterer, and I said, man, I'm gonna do a grocery store, because the harvest that I took from the farm, I put in front of the restaurant just to see if it would work. And every day people came for bread and fresh produce and soups and sandwiches. And it was like, shit, free labor, free food. Now, how did I sustain a lifestyle to get where I need to go? Well, I can cook the same thing for the people that can pay for it, but I can also cook the same thing for the people that couldn't afford it. And why would I not want to give dignity to those people too? So I treated everyone the same, but some just had to pay into it. So rather than living in the happy or type concept lifestyle that I had to show off and be that egotistical person that I thought I was at one time, I just ended up being a normal person that just says, I want to make a difference here in my own city. From the grocery store, the soup bar expanded into the universities. Humber College North and South Campus, where we feed 400 to 1,000 students for free every day. That's the same concept. Pay what you can, of course. I mean, the staff and the faculty, you know, you can put a quarter in there. Like remember this, when you're playing this back, yeah, a quarter goes a long way to the ones that don't. But long story short, a hungry stomach is a hungry mind. Why would we ever want our students to worry about where their next meal comes from when they are going to make the difference for all of us? They are the new policymakers. They're the ones who are going to remember where, what, and how it's all going to happen from here on in. And I'm hoping that every person that I've fed has learned who I am through Feed It Forward. Because Feed It Forward is a food rescue system. What we do is we actually rescue food that's destined to the landfills. Tens of hundreds of thousands of pounds every month. And what we do is stop and give other people the reason and purpose to not throw away that optimal freshness date. Marketing, bravo. For the consumer, not so good. Because the normal consumer will look in and say, it's half full. It's expired. Got to throw it away. So what they do is they throw it away. Again, plastic, but they throw it away. All right. Not thinking though, that maybe you should just try it. Having that said, through all the food that we rescued, and especially Wayne, my captain, you are, buddy. We help thousands every day. But the question is how do we help ourselves? And, you know, my theory is, how do you help yourself? Well, we feed Canadians and not landfills. And the more people that I can help, I feel that I'm fulfilled by that. I think there's a void in my life that I really wanted to make a change. And our environment is seen as such an impact from the landfills, from our food. Now, I don't want to sell you on all these details, but 53% of all food that's manufactured here in Canada is destroyed before it even gets to market. That could feed world hunger ×3 every year. Hello. What are we doing wrong here? So I'm trying to show these different entrepreneurial sectors where a new mindset, where you can actually just take free food, free labor, volunteers. I have over 2,200 volunteers registered in my program, and give them a message and a way to do it. It's taken time. You want to know why it's taken time for me to get this message out? It's because I've been a one-man team. I've been a one-man team that only depends on volunteers, that runs free restaurants, free grocery stores, free logistics teams, and warehousing. We're up to speed now. I have the Pay What You Can free grocery store. I have the Pay What You Can free grocery store, and it allows people to shop here with dignity. What it does, it gives people the opportunity to buy whatever they need for their family and friends or whoever they're entertaining, and come every day. And our stock rotates every single day, and our provider is Whole Foods. So everything from Whole Foods is basically what my grocery store is. And it's garbage. Now, here's an idea. Whole Foods has the consumer that thinks it has to always look perfect. It does. Hey, you're going to pay that price? You want perfect, right? Well, sometimes when things are a little ripe, they taste better, like a banana. Long story short, when that banana has one spot on it, the whole case goes in the garbage. But we made a deal with them. We'll say, we'll rescue your food. So let's just say for each location, it's about 800 to 1,000, 1,200 pounds every day. Now you figure a quarter pound of that feeds a person every day. That's just one meal. So as it progressively moves forward and you have so many sponsoring partners that give you food, you have an overabundance of garbage now. We're the glorified garbage collectors of the city. I'll tell you that right now. But what do? Is I allocate it to all my programs. Now, let's just not take Whole Foods. Let's take the trucks. Those transport trailer trucks. Oh, man. I can go on and on and on. I'm very passionate about what I do. But what I really want to talk about is what we're doing now. So I've scaled. So forget the grocery store concept because it worked for 2 years and I helped my community. But now I've decided that during this crisis, as an essential business that I can provide and feed thousands of people a day that are struggling and try to figure out how I'm going to reach to my people, I've decided to take this grocery store, move it to another space that they're during this time, twice the size, and scale out what I'm supposed to be doing. What does that mean? Well, during the crisis for the past 3 weeks, let's just say a month ago, I was preparing for this. So I ramped up my kitchens. I started looking for, and I started sending messages to all the chefs around the world and across Canada and whoever else my network was reaching out to. And I allowed them to know that it's time. Things are going to be coming up where that food that's perishable in your fridge, you're going to have to utilize. People weren't listening. They weren't listening. Well, when the businesses started to shut their doors, all that food that they were ready for their week's end was starting to go to waste. So we had to explain that there's an easy message here. Cook it off, put it in a bucket, and give us a call. We got calls all across Canada. It worked. The message happened. In fact, if whoever is in here from Toronto, was the best and the most biggest hotels, the CN Tower. We've done them all because they all listened and they all had the biggest kitchens too. Everyone benefited from that because the food that we rescue were put back into hampers, were put back into meals and sent right out to the great people that we can offer it to. But that wasn't enough. So creating 5,000 meals a day in a small facility with 5 people only was challenging. Well, today I have better news. The biggest kitchen in Toronto and I have partnered. We're going to partner up, and this kitchen runs 24 hours a day. We have a quota that's asked of us of 65,000 meals a day. That's for the city. That's for the most vulnerable, the ones without voices, the handicap. These are the Meals on Wheels when they ran out of food. Like what happens to your parents when you run out of food, or the people that are in these retirement homes, or whatever, the people we forgot about. These elderly are still living there and struggling. Who eats first? Their little chihuahua or the old person? Feed It Forward's also taking that food that we're giving the people and making dog food and cat food with it. Why not? Your pet has to eat too. Or maybe the pet's eating before you are. Or maybe you're sharing the damn same plate. There are loved ones and children too, right? Well, moving forward, having the grocery store, scaling up on that one during this crisis, because this was happening before the crisis was happening. I was transferring over and it's like, oh, great, look what I just got stuck into. A huge lease, a very expensive place to give free food. And it's only sustainable by my own catering company. That's another thing I didn't tell you all about. The way I sustain and run everything is strictly by your help. When you come in here and you drop some change into my bucket, or you make a monetary donation online, or all my proceeds from my catering company fund all these programs. So now what we've done from here is I get so many phone calls of food because every product and item that's sitting on the shelves is aging right now. Everything in freezers and fridges will retire, which means frostbite. You can't take that away. So these freezers that are holding the world, because frozen's the next fresh, they'll have to be turned over in the next 3 months. Now let's just look into the future and not even think about if we're locked down or not. Let's just make meals with that product that's going to be turning over, all of it across the nation, and make meals and freeze them. Does that make any sense? Raw product, cook it, freeze. It all makes sense. Dispense it out. Hoarding food is not working for me. Now, here's another thing that's hoarding food. So here I am, the hypocrite who's making all this food, but yet I am created a food bank. Now I have 37,000 meals in my own freezer because I want to show how I can do it on a small scale, how I've invested myself back into a larger scale that I can go 24 hours a day, produce enough meals to feed a fucking city, and tell the world you can do it too, or follow in suit, because I'm doing this by myself and I need my call to action is I need help. I have such an incredible team now that are surrounding me, and you are my family. It's time that we all reach together and say, how can we help? Or offer your services. Or if you know anybody that has a pocket, $5, $10, 1,000, 100,000. It doesn't matter. Every dollar that you donate, you volunteer with that money. You put that money into the company and you see where it goes every day. I'm a volunteer in my own company. I'll always be a volunteer. I volunteer my life to my country. I volunteer myself to you as transparent and as open as I am, because I have faith. Wayne has faith in me. Marcos, you, Mr. Nelson, everyone that I get to meet understands my true values. I have loyalty, labor, courage, commitment, and honor. My values. I will not fail myself before I fail anybody else. This is going to be successful because it's a legacy that we're doing. We need to protect our youth, our decision makers, the people that's ahead of us and behind us. We can survive. You're home. We're not. We're in the fucking trenches. Wayne is my hero. This guy is out there putting his life online. He is. Now think about it. The people he comes in contact without our system, our hygienic system, that we have breathers, I have hazmat outfits. Like, it's gotten to that point where we need to protect ourselves. It gets worse. Wayne takes care of himself and takes care of others. Wayne is the reason why all my operations are moving ahead, because he makes sure the logistics, as the captain, makes sure everything runs through smoothly. Now, he has a little team. We all have team, and I have people to report to too. But what I want to report to is new people. I want everyone to listen to what I'm saying. It's very important that we take care of ourselves so we can take care of another. And that other is that person without that voice. You don't even know who it is yet. But you're going to meet that person, because you're going to be the person who volunteered their time to see the life that you touch, the family, the children. Holy shit, the children. A smile that comes on their face when you hand them something that, as I did as a child when I had my bowl of cereal. It blew my mind because I was so excited. I want you guys to feel what I feel. It's the most important thing. There's starving, hungry families and children in our own backyards. And I'm very emotional about that, but I can only do so much myself. So I just want to say, you know what? If I've left something out, well, we're going to hear about it next week. And what happens, what I just told you about scaling. I deal with fresh produce all the time. I went outside my sandbox. I'm playing someone else's sandbox right now. I just got a warehouse donated to me. I am going to do the Feed It Forward food bank. I'm going to be the hub that prepares all these beautiful boxes and ships and gives it out to the food banks that they can give it out. I can't focus on the networking and everything. I can tell you about the whole back end of what we've created, my team. It's so smart and beautiful. We can track where the plant came from, right to where the stomach it ended up in. It's amazing, the system we've created, because we need to follow the food. And we're doing that now. Join us at feedifor.ca. Register, or just shoot out and say, hey man, I love what you're doing. I know somebody that can either help you with supplies, help you with equipment, help you with space, or help you with my time. We all have time, don't we, at home? Yes, yes, you do. You can't hide from me. That's the best part about this. I'm going to hold you guys accountable. I love you guys. And you know what? Be a man and a woman of integrity. It's not what your community can do for you, but what you can do for your community. And I'm Chef Jagger Gordon. I'm so chef because I earned that shit from the beginning of my first bowl of cereal that I served Well, if he's watching, hey, you might even be watching, Jeremy. But thank you. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.
So love you.
Yeah,
Love you, love you, love you, love you.
that's a round of applause.
Right, Marcos?
Holy.
Oh, man. Well, we aren't going to take any more of your time. I'm going to turn it over. We have an amazing squad, and we're looking to expand the squad. There's a lot of people that are contributing to this.
Brother, let me just say one quick thing here, my man.
Okay,
If I can. Everybody can hear me?
of course.
Okay, good. We have the Feed It Forward GoFundMe page. Now, everybody here on this platform right now, you are always, please donate if you can. But this is the thing. Let's push and promote and paste copy everywhere that we can get this to. If you know some people who, have the means and they just don't know where to put it, let them know where they can put it. We're shooting for an intention here to make $100,000 in donations here for Feed It Forward, because as Jagger was saying, all of the means that have, ran Feed It Forward since the beginning are now gone right now. There's no parties going on. There's no catering gigs going on. There's no events happening, right?
So
There's none of that happening. So we really are rallying right now. And this is one of the main focuses why we're focusing on Jagger tonight. We are rallying behind him and Feed It Forward to get as many donations as possible to this GoFundMe, which we will have in the comments.
Wait, yeah, actually, Ro is going to actually direct him exactly where we need to go to be able to do that right now.
Just go to my website and make it there's a donate button right there. Just go to my website.
Jag, I got you. Y'all slow down. I got you. Not all y'all. I got you. You know how I run. I got you. I want to turn it over and let you know there's been a lot of people participating in putting this together. As you can see, the passion and the commitment and conviction is over the top, because we could talk for another 4 hours, but we really do want you to just share. So I want to turn over to Rowena. She's actually going to break down exactly how you guys can contribute. We wanted this to be brief because we know we're going to go on at least an 8-week run, but it's going to actually spin off into many of your guys' needs and how we can contribute as one heartbeat. So with none other, please, Ro, if you would actually go ahead and share, and then we'll close out with you, please.
Absolutely. I'm sure all of you will attest that you're all moved and inspired in some way by these gentlemen. And I have the great fortune to know each of them personally and to be able to witness their leadership living. And I'm so honored. I'm so honored to know them. I'm honored to call them my friend. I'm honored to watch them as they go out into the world and to truly live their purpose. And so you being on this call today is a testament that you are a leader as well. And we need you right now more than ever. We're going through such interesting times right now. And what it's calling us forward to do is to collectively collaborate with one another and to pull whatever you have within you to spread love, to expand yourself in whatever way you can, to use your gifts and talents to be able to make whatever difference you can. And so the intention of the next 8 weeks is really to pull together as a community, as a collective collaboration, and to share this with as many people as you can. And so our call to action is 3 very simple things. The first is that we have a Facebook group called the Four Horsemen. And so we invite you to add yourself to this group, share it with your friends. This is going to be a collective global movement that is going to move hearts and minds and bodies all over the world. And more than anybody, you're all on this call that, we can create ripple effects when we all stand together. And so that's the first thing, is to go to the Facebook group, the Four Horsemen. The second thing, as Wayne was saying, is we really have a commitment to raise $100,000 in 8 weeks. And all of those funds are going to go to people in need food security is such a huge issue in our country and all around the world, really. And so that's where the funds are going to go. We also encourage anybody that's in the Toronto area to really look within yourself and see, you know, whether that is a gift of donation, a gift of time, a resource, identifying a restaurant that might have storage where we can put food so that we can use the freezers. Mr. Nelson has already shared that he's going to be donating $1,000 each month for the next 3 months. So that's a total of $3,000. And I say that, you know, because I think it's a testament to his character and his heart. And so for anybody, you know, whether that's $10, $1,000, $1, whatever it is that you have, this is going to a really great cause. And so I really encourage you to really pull at your heartstrings and see what you can do as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys. Remember that this is an 8-week series. And so we hope that we're over capacity. We want this to spread to so many people so that we have to go in all these different platforms and really, really spread love, because that really is the most important currency that matters. And so thank you so much to all of you for your time and for joining us today. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you next Friday, same time, and we will get this all figured out so that we'll be on Facebook Live and YouTube, and we'll get this all sorted out. But God bless everybody. We love you, and have a good night.